Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome back State Representative Sal Esquivel. Sal, good to see you. How are you today?
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. So let's talk about the recent legislative session. What are you most proud, most happy about what you accomplished there?
Well, I think the thing that was probably the best was the fact that we did give education an additional $1 billion. And that's pretty significant. We had a $2 billion increase in revenue, and spent about half of that towards the education part of the state of Oregon, which is, I think it's marvelous. I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Was there a major disappointment for you? Was there something you really
Well,
wish
I think
you could
the
have
major disappointment is we're giving education all this money, but a lot of it's going out the back door on PERS because we did absolutely nothing with PERS, even though it was touted by the party in charge that we've done a great thing when they did, I think it was 822 or whatever it was, what we call the light PERS, and they did pass that, and now they're talking about coming back and redoing and fixing PERS again. Well, you know, I don't think that's quite proper, and I'll tell you why. We had 5 months in that building. We had a party that had the majority in the House, the Senate, and the governor's office. Did not fix PERS adequately, even though we explained as a minority party that you should fix PERS. Did not do so, so now they want to use that as a leverage that will fix PERS, providing that you cooperate with us for a tax increase, even though we balanced the budget. So my question is this, why do we have to pay people to do what's right? That's my question.
Okay. All right, and I believe that was dubbed the grand bargain, if you will, correct?
Well, the grand bargain we never even saw on the House side.
Right.
You know, it was done on the Senate side, and they negotiated, and that was part of the grand bargain. I think it was very interesting that we in the House, other than our leadership, knowing a little bit through the leadership of the Senate, really didn't have much of a feel for that.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you believe that everyone will be called back perhaps this fall to try and get those talks started again?
Well, that would be up to the governor, but you know, we could fix PERS, but we don't have to necessarily fix it to the point of where we have to raise taxes in order to do so. I think that's just beyond my comprehension. We could have fixed PERS the day we walked in the door. We just elected not to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Sal in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with State Representative Sal Esquivel. Sal, now the numbers in the House rather has tipped in favor of the Democrats. Before that, though, there was a 50-50 split in the House. Do you prefer, how do they work together?
I thought that we did some remarkable things when we were tied at 30-30. And I'll tell you why. Every bill that went out had to be bipartisan because you couldn't pass a bill without 31 votes. Mm-hmm. The other thing was that there was such a cooperation between the parties, and it wasn't necessarily that it was what it amounted to, they had to. Mm-hmm. In order to get anything done, you had to have agreement between the chairs of each committee and the co-speakers. And I'll tell you what, that worked superbly. You had two great people that were co-speakers, and that's Arnie Roblin out of Coos Bay, and you had Bruce Hanna out of Roseburg. And those two did a remarkable job. And it was, to me, it was something to behold. It was something that we were constructive. We got, if you'll remember correctly, we passed the school budget, the education budget, in the middle of April. This time it was July. So therefore, we had things, we got it done, we had it done in a manner that everyone was palatable with it, and it was a bipartisan effort. And I thought that was a great thing to do for the state of Oregon. Mm-hmm. Now we're back to, well, we kind of sit in the back of the room and don't have much to say.
Interesting. All right. Well, one of your colleagues, Dennis Richardson, a Republican state representative from Central Point, has announced he's going to run for governor next year. Do you think he has a chance?
Well, I think anyone has a chance, but I think Dennis has an exceptionally fine chance because he understands the budget. He understands it quite well. Dennis was the co-chair of Ways and Means when we were split 30-30. Mm-hmm. And Dennis was the one that caused us to have a buffer zone instead of going into the red. It was Dennis Richardson, it was his idea to have a $460 million buffer, and you know something, we consumed almost all of that. So Dennis has knowledge. He has foresight. He looks down the road. He doesn't look at like things are today. He looks at what are we going to do tomorrow and how are we going to pay for it and how are we going to continue to pay for it. He's a very remarkable man, and I think that he's what Oregon needs right now. We can't do the same status quo like we've been doing.
Very good. Sal, great to see you again. Thanks for coming.
Take care. Have a good one.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.